Do you worry about getting hurt?
In fighting?
Yeah.
No, I don't worry about it. I put that in the back of my brain. I've gotten hurt many times, and I always fight through it every time. So I know I can get through any situation. Doesn't matter if I'm hurt, injured, sick, or not. I'm going to keep fighting, and I do it for the love of my country and the love of wanting to have a platform so I can give it back to the people that I love the most.
Clearly, fighters try to psych each other out before the fight in public, I notice.
Yeah.
What's the, without giving away your trade secrets, what's the purpose of that, the process, and does it work?
Yeah, it absolutely works. And the process is just to try and get in the psychological part of someone's mind and alter them, make them fight with emotions. Because when you fight with emotions, you're not going to fight the same as if you're in a free state where you can just not think and you can just, do it off of intuition. But if you can get in someone's head and make them super mad where they're just going to abandon their game plan, they just want to hurt you. They want to knock you out. Then you're an advantage. But also, there's a huge aspect to it too, because it sells pay-per-views and it creates engagement, because it makes it so people aren't going to be down the middle. They're either going to hate you or they're going to love you. But that's what you want, because even the haters, they're not going to turn the TV to watch Real Housewives of Miami. No, they're going to keep it on UFC because they want to see you lose. But then your people that respect you and like you, they're going to keep watching because they want to see you win and they want to see you keep rising. So there's a very important aspect to selling fights and being able to promote yourself.
Do people take it personally? Well, you've been pretty tough on some of your opponents, right?
Yeah, people take it personally. They don't realize, but it's funny because all the people that have taken it personal in the past, during the time after their checks cleared their banks, they realize, hey man, I actually appreciate everything you did, Colby. Like you made me a lot more money otherwise if you would have just been quiet and acted like a mute. But the fact that you were vocal and you made it more animosity filled for the fight, that made me more money in the long run. So thank you, Colby.
For attacking me. So what have been the most effective attacks? Give me an example. You're up against somebody next week. Like what would you say about him?
I would just say, you're a soy boy, and there's one guy that he's a legitimate cuck, and I've called him out for that.
Can you explain what that means to our audience that may not know?
Yeah, so a cuck is just someone that sits in the room and they watch their spouse get sexual arousal from someone else. So, there's people like that out there, and the truth is what always hurts the most.
And so you found out that this had happened.
I had found out that this had happened. The girl was selling a book called WAG, which means wife and girlfriend. So she was like promoting that, she had a boyfriend, she had a husband, and
that didn't used to be allowed.
It shouldn't be allowed. It's pretty nasty behavior,
I'd say. So what did you say about it?
I just said the truth. I said that's disgusting. You're a cuck, and your wife is a vile old lady. She's selling books promoting being a wag, and being a wife and a girlfriend. And I'm not going to let the world not notice that. I'm going to bring it to the forefront, and I'm going to make sure everybody's talking about it and making a joke of you.
Was he pretty excited that you pointed out he's a cuck?
I'm not excited. He was pretty angry.
He was?
Yeah, I think he probably wants to settle the differences in the octagon, and just so happens I like to fight in the octagon. So if it needs to happen one day, I'd be honored to settle that.
Oh, so this is not even someone you're scheduled to fight?
Nah, it's not even someone I'm scheduled to fight. It's just someone that's been talking smack in the media, been throwing, some terms around at me, and, never done anything or accomplished half of what I've accomplished in this sport. So, I had to give it back to him a little bit and just say the truth.
Did it shut him up?
It did shut him up, but I have a strong feeling that he'll have something else to say very soon.
When that kind of thing happens and it happens in public, does he text you behind the scenes?
No, he doesn't have my number, but I'm sure he's probably trying to figure out my location or where I'm going to be, and he'll probably try and jump me walking out of a poppy steak or something, like someone else did in one of my prior fights.
Tried to jump you?
Yeah, because he couldn't take the truth. He couldn't handle the truth that that's the extent that I took it to.
Wait. Slow down. So what did you say about this other person?
Oh, I just said he was a deadbeat dad because he wasn't paying his child support.
And he was?
Yeah, and he was. wasn't paying child support, cut off his communications with his kids, and then he didn't like that. He didn't like that I said the truth about him. So, he had to sucker punch me in the back of the head when I walked out of a restaurant.
That's unbelievable. Where?
Yeah, in Miami Beach at Poppy Steakhouse.
At Poppy's, of all places. So what happened next? Did he drop you?
It concussed me pretty bad, and I was like, I was able to get inside and call the cops, and then he had to deal with the justice system after that.
Whatever happened to him?
He ended up getting an assault charge, and he had to plead guilty to it, and he had to go to jail for the night, and he'll probably have to pay some fines, I would assume. And
have you seen him since?
No, I haven't seen him since.
So you never even saw him coming? You're just walking out of the restaurant?
No. Somehow he was able to identify where I was. I was hanging out with my friends, the Note Boys, and I don't know what happened, but we were walking outside, and he was able to stalk me, and he waited in the bushes with like a bunch of friends in a ski mask, and then
what?
Yeah. And we walked outside, and we were going to go to another spot to have dinner, and next thing I know, boom in the back of the head, boom in the front of the face, knocked my tooth out, and then
he knocked your tooth out?
Yeah. So he couldn't beat me legally. I beat him up for 25 minutes straight in the UFC octagon. So of course he had to do it illegally when I wasn't looking, because if he looked me in the eyes like a man, he knew he wouldn't be able to do anything to me. But the only way he could do something is if he cheap shotted me and stalked me like the criminal that he is.
Well, you got into his head, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Have you seen him since?
No, I haven't seen him since. Probably a good thing.
Do you think you'd ever fight him again?
I don't think the UFC would sanction that, because they just saw how easily I beat him the first time. Like, I beat him every round convincingly, knocked him down, dragged him out. It was a 50-43 and a soda is what I gave him. And so I don't think the UFC would give me an easy matchup like that ever again. The UFC likes to make prestigious and high-level fights. They wouldn't want to give me some amateur that's not on my level,
That's absolutely crazy that he did that.
Yeah.
And you were friends with this guy before, right?
Yeah, we were best friends for 8 years. We lived together for 3 years. Best friends. But that's that's what this sport does to people. Like, people will sell out their friends for money. All he wanted was fame and money. So as soon as I started reaching up and getting high in this sport, that's when he took it personal and his ego kicked in. He was like, hey man, like, we can't be friends. I want money more than I want to be friends with you.
Hey, it's Tucker Carlson. The internet is crowded with interesting things that don't really matter. On TCN, we attempt to bring you interesting things that actually do matter, and a lot of them. Interviews, long form and short, videos, documentaries. You can find all of it on tuckercarlson.com, and we hope you will.